Welcome back, everybody, to this week's episode of Den Excelsior, the Mostly Marvel podcast. I'm your host, Ricky. With me, as always, we got Dennis.
What's going on? And we got your dog in the background, too.
Yeah, my dog saying hi.
Nice. I love it. That's great. How goes it? How has this week treated you?
Aside from the dog barking, it's been pretty... the excitement's creeping. We're less than 10 days away, or less than a week away. No. Just over a week away.
We're 8 days away.
Yeah, just over a week away.
8 days away from Comic-Con. It is our favorite thing. It's my favorite thing in the world. I think it's one of Ricky's favorite things in the world.
I got asked the question before by my partner of like, how much do you love Comic-Con?
Nice.
And I think objectively I said I've loved Comic-Con longer than I loved you, which is just a factual statement in terms of time.
Mm-hmm.
But when you say it like that, it doesn't seem to go over well.
Yeah, I've definitely said that about Spider-Man to my wife.
I've just known this thing longer.
Yeah, exactly. You can't. It's fair.
It doesn't quantify it.
But here, I will say this in her defense. You've known me longer than you know Selena, but I would hope that you love her more than you love me.
That's not the argument. It's just a status of love or a length of love.
But I'm proving that the length.
Yeah.
The length doesn't equate to the amount.
If we had the trolley problem, you or her, I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? You should know.
You've had a good run.
You should know. I know. That's what I'm saying. You should know. Like, you're not offending me.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. I understand her point is just because you've loved it longer, that doesn't mean anything necessarily.
No.
But so she just really wants to know, but you didn't give her a real answer. You just said you loved it longer.
Yeah. I just stated a fact.
It's true. But yes, I have known and I've been inside Comic-Con for over 25 years. And I never get tired of being inside Comic-Con.
What's 25 times 5? What is that?
25 times 5?
Yeah. 25 times
125.
125. So you need to go. I'm trying to break down how many Comic-Cons you need to go to have had
there a full year.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. That's funny.
73 Comic-Cons. You're
Okay.
a third of the way.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna make that. But yeah, that's pretty cool. It's just a joy. Like I say every year, it's a joy to be around people who celebrate fandoms of all kinds. Like, I was asked the other day, like, what are my geek like, what are the holes that I have in my nerd fandom? You know what I mean? Like, what are the places that I'm not really well versed? And I was quick to answer. I said anime. Anime is not. It's just never been my thing. It's not to say that I don't have a very small
Ghost in the Shell. Speaking of anime.
No, because it's not my thing. It's not my thing. And I don't enjoy a lot of anime. There are a very small handful of them that I do love, but it's not, something that I have invested a lot of my time and effort into. That said, I love seeing people celebrate their love of anime at Comic-Con. And that's what I love about Comic-Con is just everybody is just geeking out on their thing, man. And everybody's just happy because, like, there's no judgment going on. You know what I mean? Like, you're just all around people that just love some cool element or maybe multiple elements of pop culture. And it just makes it.
Yeah, every bit of media has a spot there and has people that love it.
You know what? Oh, sorry. What were you going to say?
No, I mean, I get the same sentiment. There's just the happiness of being there. With like-minded people.
Yeah, I actually ended up doing my schedule for Comic-Con just to kind of like review the whole thing, and plan out like some of my favorite or the things that I'm most interested in doing, I can tell you if you want to know.
Give me your panel list. What's
Well, we filled it up with a lot just so that we have options. Do you know what I mean? But like the reality is, the Thursday morning is reserved for Mattel. Like we are going to the Mattel WWE panel because my wife needs to see Rey Mysterio and Danhausen. It needs to happen. That's where she's at right now. Later in the day, you know, there's going to be Jada Toys has their panel at 3 p.m. I'm very excited about that. I have a feeling you have a news item that goes along with that.
I do.
Okay, cool. And then like I think
let me get on that.
Marvel Legends on Friday is going to be that's a highlight, right? Like that's why I'm kind of curious to see the Mattel WWE panel, because apparently that WWE Elite Series won Toy Line of the Year, like at some like awards, like some toy awards thing. Yeah, they're really good toys. So like I'm interested to see how they do their panels, because getting the flash and flare of like actual WWE talent to be present, like does that top the magic of Dwight and Dan?
I'm gonna say no.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Well, I want to find out. That's what I'm asking. Are you going to go to the Jada panel? Because I think those guys are pretty charming too. They're pretty fun to watch.
Are we going to the Jada panel?
No, I said, are you going?
It's on Thursday?
Yeah, I'm going to the Jada panel.
When's Marvel Legends?
Friday morning. Fuck. Yeah. Oh, I know your problems. You also have the problem of Lanterns being on Friday in Hall H.
I know.
You also have an X-Men 97 panel on Friday. Rick and Morty, do you know that there's a spin-off show happening? President Curtis is getting his own show. He's got a panel that day too. These are really cool things that are going on, man. And then like on Saturday, I love doing the quick draw and the Saturday the Cartoon Voices panels. There's also a panel about DC's Absolute Universe, if you're interested in that. I know you won't be doing that. Mad TV's having a reunion in Indigo Ballroom on Saturday.
I'm interested in that, but I mean, you know,
that's pretty cool, man. At 4:30 on Saturday, they're doing a panel on the relationship between hip hop and comics.
I wonder if that show ages well.
It probably does. I've seen clips of it. It's pretty fun. Obviously, the Marvel Studios Hall H panel. It's on my list. I'm not going to go to it, but I am considering instead going to Rey Mysterio versus the Darkness, which is going to be a show I think on HBO Plus later this year. That's pretty cool. And then, you know, we have some other ones like there's a life drawing like session going on in room 2 on Sunday. If you missed it the second time, by the way, I highly recommend, if you're bringing your cousins, you get them to check out the Cartoon Voices panel. One of the 2 days, either Saturday or Sunday. That panel fills up super fast. It is one of the most amazing experiences and one of the most like unique things that is Comic-Con. You've been to them, right?
Which ones?
The Cartoon Voices panels?
I went to the one at WonderCon.
Was it hosted by Mark Evanier?
I believe so.
Okay. It's an amazing panel. I love it. I love it.
Man.
But yeah, so that's just like a short list of my highlight ones that I want to do. And then I also have marked, all the time slots that I booked. I set for exclusives that hopefully I get into. But yeah, there's a whole ritual that goes on with this, and I'm excited about it all.
I think we have a very similar list. I'm with you on the Marvel Legends panel, trying to get in that one. The ones I'm always excited for, and they actually expanded it this year. So they do Collider magazine does directors on directing.
Yeah, I know. You told me about those. Yeah.
The format of those, it's they get a panel of directors, and then they do Q&A, but the Q&A is done by like video calls from other directors.
Yeah.
So you get these very nuanced conversations. But this year, Zach Krigers is on it. So that's the
cool,
weapons guy.
man. That's cool.
But they've expanded this series of panels to showrunners on showrunners and producers on producing.
Okay, all right.
So there's 3 separate panels, all the same style, and that's always been a blast. You get some really crazy nuggets. Like I think one year the director of John Wick basically laid out what that was, or not John Wick, John Carter laid out what was going to happen with the movie. Same thing with
versus
the Incredible
what
Hulk.
actually happened. Yeah.
Yeah. What the original plan was for the MCU Hulk.
Mhm.
The other one, I stumbled into this panel randomly like 2 or 3 years ago. It's Malcolm and Friends.
I saw that on the panel or on the panel list.
Malcolm Barrett. I have no idea who this person is outside of these Comic-Con panels, but he brings on the most like eclectic group of celebrities and artists every year. It's usually like a panel of 10 people, and it is just like nonsensical shooting the shit for an hour. And I've never like not had an amazing time at that panel. And it's always on Thursday.
Oh, man. That's awesome.
So I always get to go to that one.
Yeah.
And then of course, King of the Hill.
Yes.
I will not take for granted that revival. If you haven't seen the new season, it's great.
I have not. Yeah.
More episodes come out during Comic-Con.
It's hard for me because my life for so many years was Indigo Ballroom on Friday, all day, and I marked down all the things that are happening in Indigo Ballroom that day. After Rick and Morty is King of the Hill, and I'm like, I can't spend a whole day in there, man. Like as much as I'd love to, that room is hard to get into sometimes.
Well, after Rick and Morty, it's not.
You think so? You think so?
I think it'll clear out. I'll never forget our lovely time last year with the Blues Brothers panel.
Oh man, yeah,
that was awkward.
Moment. That was awkward. You know, the other weird thing about the show this year is there's a lot of toy panels.
Yeah,
like a lot. There's one on key adults. It's called The New Toy Economy. It's just going to be talking about how the adults are the larger economy right now in toys. There's going to be a panel on indie action figures. I think they've done that before. Action figure makers, like behind the scenes. There's a panel on terrible toys and problematic playthings that just go over like the history of like really inappropriate toys that have been made. Toys That Made Us is coming back with a blooper reel kind of thing that they're doing. Like there's a lot of toy panels this year. Indie toy makers unite. They also have a party in Gaslamp that you can like pay $100 to go to.
There's a toy tuber meetup. Did you see this in the Gaslamp?
It's probably at the Indie Toy Makers Unite like party.
No, this is at the bowling downtown.
Oh yeah, they did that last year, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are we toy tubers?
I don't know, Ricky. You can decide, but you can tell me how much it costs.
All right, I'll look it up.
But yeah, so
I mean that's what we've been nerding out on, right? It's just scheduling.
That is what I've been nerding out on, but also I did finish all of Widow's Bay and Margot's Got Money Problems.
I heard both those shows are great.
I did an Apple binge this week, this past week.
You finished Godzilla?
No, because I don't like it. You mean the Monarch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't like that show. But yeah, both of them are great. Widow's Bay is more great.
I need to watch Widow's Bay. Has got a lot of Emmy stuff.
That I know, it's got 19 Emmy nominations. The best thing I can do to describe Widow's Bay is it's if you take American Horror Story and Atlanta and mash them together, and that is what you get. So it is awesome.
People of color?
No, it's without them, but it's the spirit of Atlanta. It's
David Lynch style.
Well, it's the same director.
Okay.
It's Kiro Murai directs all of.
He
produces and directs a lot of episodes of Widow's Bay. and you feel that style from Atlanta, like his unique style. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's very much a part of the show now, and it's really cool. But yeah, I
One
geeked
thing
out
I've
on
been
those,
watching is The
and I
Bear.
loved it.
The Bear's back and just chipping away.
That's a hard one for me to watch sometimes, but I will get there eventually.
Um, what else? What else? I finally watched Project Hail Mary.
Yeah, you talked
Um,
about starting to watch it last week.
I finished it. I feel with Sinners with that movie. I think it's really good, but I don't think it's like, you know, in the upper echelon that I think it's been put in. But I do think it's really good.
I definitely think Sinners is better than Project Hail Mary by a lot.
I think Sinners is better than Project Hail Mary for sure.
Yeah.
But I do like for a story as like, I don't say simple, but it's really only like 3 characters in that movie for the most part. They do a really good job at jumping back and forth to keep like the ball moving between the whole situation. I like the back and forth. But other than those, what else? No, not much else.
It's okay. You don't have to have much else besides that. We have so much to talk about today. I'm pretty sure.
All right. Well, let's do some news. One sec. Let me get my news up. Here we go. Alrighty. This is kind of sad. Andy Park finally gave us a first look at his last work for Marvel Studios. It's the Doomsday concept art. There was an event in Shanghai last week, and it was kind of the pseudo kickoff for the Doomsday marketing. But we finally get our first look at what an official Doom looks like. And hey, that looks like Doom.
Yeah, I wasn't really concerned with him looking like Doom. Like,
I mean, you got the X-Men, you got the Thunderbolts, the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I think after Deadpool and Wolverine, the effort they went to get Wolverine in the freaking costume.
Yeah,
I had no doubt that Doctor Doom was going to look like Doctor Doom.
My only I know currently there's two sets of Avengers, the Avengers and the
Avengers. New Avengers. The new Avengers. Yeah.
Who the fuck are Sam's Avengers? Him, New Falcon,
War Machine,
and War Machine with legs, robo legs. I don't know, but it was nice to like see this.
Well, no, not robo legs, dude. War Machine doesn't have paralysis. That was the Skrull.
No, the Skrull they fixed because he was walking.
Oh wait! That's right. They replaced him in the hospital, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right. I got you. Right.
I'm expecting more news next week, next Saturday on what we have in store for Doomsday. Kind of on the same boat. The tickets for Doomsday are most likely to go on sale next week.
They are. Hopefully, a trailer releases.
It would probably be. It's a bigger deal because they're kind of taking the Odyssey approach. So I don't know if you know this, but the Odyssey sold their IMAX tickets for opening night 70mm. They sold them last July, so a year out from the movie.
I know.
And they made their entire budget back in that one pre-order stint. So a year out, this movie became profitable. So they're kind of going for a similar thing here. They're specifically going to be selling the Infinity Vision ticket. So whatever classifies as Infinity Vision.
The non-IMAX one, yes.
Non-IMAX, yeah.
I'm looking at this picture still more because I haven't really studied it before. This picture is funny. I heard a rumor that one of the Thunderbolts guys in that movie, I think one of the producers said that. My money's on Ghost or Red Guardian.
You kill a Bucky.
No, you don't kill Bucky. You're crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, it's a cool looking picture. It's fine. Keep it coming. What else you got?
Blue Beetle's back, baby. According to Variety, Mari Dueña is going to reprise his role as Jaime Reyes in Superman: Man of Tomorrow, which is filming now.
So that means that at this point, Suicide Squad's the first movie in the universe, right?
Yeah, David Ayers started this.
Not David Ayers.
Well, yeah.
No.
They talk about June Moon and Peacemaker too.
Oh yeah, you're right. They do.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
So David Ayers is the founding father of the DCU or DCU.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like he says, it's only canon until it's not, or vice versa, whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, I think really the safe thing to say is the Suicide Squad is the first movie, and then we skip over Wonder Woman, and we skip over Aquaman 2, and then we go to Blue Beetle. Sorry, Wonder Woman 2, right? Yeah.
Look, Blue Beetle did not make money.
But I liked him.
There were challenges that movie faced when it came out, but I think people liked it. And
it's a good movie.
I'm happy that he's back. I think I'm happy. So up until now, I think kind of what you were talking about earlier, but like the DCU, what is or what was canon is basically all the stuff James Gunn worked on, right? And that always felt icky to me.
Yes.
Because it's like, the stuff I made is good, but the other stuff, throwing the baby out with the bathwater.
Yeah, but now we have something he didn't make.
Now we have this thing. So I'm happy. And look, they set up a TED Cord. So maybe we get a TED down the line.
Yeah.
TED opens up a Booster Gold, which is already on the map somewhere. So the pieces are coming together.
What's the likelihood of Susan Sarandon returning?
Didn't she die?
She might have died. You might be right. You might be right. But time travel. Death in superhero stories don't matter. Never matters. Don't worry about it.
We're getting a Nova movie. So Michael Waldron was recently credited officially on a Nova script.
Okay.
So this could be a announcement next week.
There's a lot of fans. He has a lot of fans. People have wanted a Nova movie for a long time. It has a potential of being, something new and surprising the way Ant-Man was one time.
And the Nova Corps already exists in
Yeah. So it'll bake right in there. Well, they existed.
Yes.
Thanos killed the crap out of them. Yeah.
So more the Batman news, potential spoilery stuff, but apparently Scarlett Johansson is the main villain of the Batman Part 2.
Is she Pamela Isley?
She is a killer obsessed with plants murdering the elite of Gotham.
So she's Pamela Isley.
Is that Poison Ivy?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. That's cool. I'm happy with that.
What was Uma Thurman's name?
Pamela Isley.
Was it really?
And also Poison Ivy. Yeah. That's her name.
I'm just throwing out.
Oh, Madame Gao.
Wai Ching Ho died at the age of 82. This goes along the news with Sam Neill. Their MCU alum passed away earlier this week.
That sucks. That's a bummer.
Sucks.
I'm more sad for the Sam Neill one because like I have more things that I connect with him on that one. But that's I did not know Madame Gao passed as well. Well, there's always a third. That's unfortunate. It's
With
unfortunate.
Lindsey Graham.
There's always a third.
Mitch McConnell?
No, there's a third celebrity.
Oh. They're celebrities to certain people.
Yeah. Moving on. What do you got here?
Some X-Men casting news, which again, probably timely because again, next Saturday's a Hall H panel, but there's 2 leaks specifically on who is playing a Magneto and who is playing a Professor Xavier, Charles Xavier. So Adam Driver is going around the rumor mill that he is going to be the new Magneto for the MCU.
Okay.
I can see it. I like it. He's got the hair. For Professor Xavier, what the fuck? I just totally forgot his name. Patrick Wilson.
I like that. That's pretty good. Patrick Wilson is Xavier.
He's got the strong brow
and the jaw.
And the jaw.
I like that one. I don't know that I like Adam Driver as Magneto. But I will let them cook and see what happens. So.
And then you said there's Jada toy news.
I said, the toys finally went out for pre-order today. Invincible toys for pre-order. And when I was on Big Bad Toy Store at 9:00 this morning, that website was chugging. So I hope they're still available now. So I hope everybody has had a chance to pre-order.
I don't care about those Jada toys.
$29.99 for each of them. That is a great competitive price, man. I'm just saying, and that's on Big Bad. Big Bad.
Omni-Man.
Big Bad raises the price up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You mean Omni Kid?
Omni Kid.
There's a lot of engineering that went into that kid, man. I'm just saying.
All I'm saying is, it's not the Invincible I want.
Oh, boo! I'm sorry that they'll probably never ever make the one you want, except that they will.
I want the one that we're getting next week. All right, that's a lot of news. Should we talk about X-Men?
Please do. I think we forgot to mention at the beginning of the show that we were going to talk about X-Men 97 today as the 4th episode, right? Season 2.
We're talking about X-Men 97 today.
The 4th episode 4? Season 2?
4, Season 2.
Nice. This one is what? The Rise of Apocalypse Part 2?
Part 2.
Dude. This episode has a 9.5 right now on IMDb. People are quite happy with this episode. I have a lot of things I want to say, but I want to hear what you thought of this episode.
In my own opinion, and I haven't seen every bit of it, but I think I can safely say that this is probably the best piece of Apocalypse media that we've ever gotten. Man, I think this show, like this last season, they're dealing obviously with a lot of social themes, and that's a big part. That's a big pillar of the X-Men, for sure. And so far, not so much of that in this show, but what they do on the flip side is really
do they lore bomb you?
The villains are villains. Like I think that's in simplest terms. Like you're not getting like the kind of mustache twirly stuff of the villain of the week that you kind of get with some of these shows.
Yeah,
they're really hammering home on what Apocalypse is, why he is the way he is. The I had no idea about the external bits or the not the external Eternals.
No,
The eternal,
external.
well, the
External.
externals, but
Externals
then
is
the
correct.
eternal stuff, or sorry,
The
the
celestial.
celestial stuff
Sorry. Yes.
with Apocalypse.
Yes.
But they're and look, it's a comic book show, so things can be done, but they're letting their villains do villainous things, and at least for the time being, they're letting them sit.
Yeah, what I think you're trying to say, earlier, about how like they're not going hard on social issues. They're going hard on the other side of comic books, because comic books in themselves are about, social issues and about fantasy, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
they're about like this crazy world where things can happen that don't happen in our world, and that is usually like how they deal with the social issues that we recognize. But sometimes you just got to take a break, right? And just go into the lore of their fantasy. And that is what, like, so far this season has been more focused on. I'm fairly confident it won't stay focused on just heavy lore. But what I thought was really interesting about this episode was it inspired me to go back and watch an old episode of the old show, kind of for comparison, but kind of because like I felt like a nostalgic need to, after I saw Beast interact with Ship. It triggered something in me, right? So like, just so for everybody who needs a recap of the episode, this episode takes place right at the on the heels of the previous, where the general is killed by Apocalypse, and he's really angry at Magneto and Xavier for manipulating him, but they beg him to give him a chance to explain themselves, and they tell him, "Look, we're from your future. Okay, we're from your future. We know what happens. We're here to try and help you, right?" And along the way, in every way they try to help prevent him from becoming Apocalypse, they end up being the damn reason he becomes Apocalypse, right? Like they take him to the ship that is of celestial origin, and he is confronted by like somehow a message from a celestial who gives him the power to destroy and create, right? Like
And
that's what a
but
celestials are
they
all
give
about, right?
him they define his purpose, right?
Yes.
He's Apocalypse, the personification of Apocalypse,
Yeah.
but his job is to
To
destroy.
destroy so
So
that
then,
things can be created, right?
exactly.
Yes, because that is the eternal cycle of celestials, right?
Hmm.
Celestials constantly believe that life must perish so that life can be born out
It's
of
like a
it.
balance thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's a whole yin yang kind of thing. But so I just wanted to kind of like, if you would indulge me in a brief nerd moment, I wanted to talk about, before we talk further about this episode, an episode that I watched today of the old X-Men cartoon. Do you mind if I do a nerd
Do it.
moment? So on Disney Plus, you can find this under season 3. It's episode 9. It's called Obsession. This episode is about Warren Worthington III. It's many episodes after he's already become Archangel, and Apocalypse has gotten away, right? And he's now freed himself of being a horseman. So now Archangel is just blue and super angry. He just really hates Apocalypse, right? But the thing you got to remember about him is he's super rich, right? He's a third. Like, I know you're a third too, but like, you know, statistically, more people that have the third are usually, I don't know. I guess in modern media, they're super rich. You're not super
Oh,
rich.
yeah, I didn't get that.
Okay. But anyways, he's super rich, and he's got like a massive hard on to kill Apocalypse, right? That's his whole goal. So he's like paying workers round the clock. He's like buying artifacts from all over, like ancient sites all over the world, because, we know historically Apocalypse has been around for a long time, even before we had this origin story, right? We just kind of
Hmm.
knew that he's been around. And
Yeah.
so he's looking for a weakness, right? He's like, there's got to be a weakness in this guy. He can't be indestructible, right? And so he ends up, a guy shows up at his door. It's like on a cane. He's like an archaeologist. And he's like, I found the thing you wanted me to find. And he's like, yes, give it to me. And he opens it up and it's like a scroll and it's like from the Ming Dynasty, right? And it's got like pressure points like on Apocalypse's body, like where you can defeat him there, right? And you're like, this might be it. It's gotta be. Like, I've got to find him. And then next thing you know, Apocalypse is attacking New York, right? Their alarms go off. So he goes there to fight him, and just because he needs to. And then, of course, the X-Men show up, and they're fighting him too. And what you start learning is like Rogue, she's had an experience before where she absorbed Archangel's power to weaken him. So she actually understands his rage, right? And she kind of like sympathizes with him and is trying to tell him, or trying to tell the X-Men, like, hey, I kind of feel bad for the guy. And Gambit's like, nah, you can't feel bad for this guy. This guy, he's too far gone. There's nothing you can do about it, you know? But you know, like once they're back at the base, they're like, dude, Apocalypse keeps owning us because he gets away, right? Whatever he's doing, he's going around all over the planet, like collecting things for some super weapon, and they can't stop him. And he always laughs. He's just like, ha ha ha. Like, you know, he just like basically just calls them ants.
He's a little cheesy.
He's really just like, you guys are just like, oh, he's like lambs to a slaughter. You know, that's what he says about them. But like the funniest part is like later on, the X-Men are sitting back at their base and they're like, dude, we gotta beat this guy. We gotta figure out a way to beat him. And they start talking about him like they talk about his ship, right? Because they believe, how is he getting all over the planet as fast as he is? And they're like, you know, Professor X is like, you know, there's tales of like a mythic ship that exists throughout time, you know, like, and you're like, they're mentioning the ship as if it's part of their worldly lore, you know. It's like it's like us talking about like you know, like Dracula or something like that. This is just a thing that everybody knows about. And so Beast, who at the time has Shi'ar technology running like the Danger Room and running their computer and stuff like that, he uses that to like locate the ship, right? And like, by the way, minor spoiler alert, Beast using Shi'ar technology in all of their equipment will come back to bite them in the ass one day. Just throwing that out there. But anyways, Beast goes, they find ship, and he uses the Shi'ar technology to create a translation so that he can talk to ship, right? And he ends up forming a full relationship. Like, he's kind of like flirting with ship. It's a woman's voice.
Like a Han Solo.
Yes. It's
or Lando
and the Millennium Falcon, right? It's that. It's 100% that. And it's getting weird, but he's like talking to, he's like, hey, X-Men, you go check out the rest of ship. I'm just going to hang out here with the AI computer, and like, we're just going to try and figure out how we can beat Apocalypse, right? And he comes up with like this solution where he can like redirect Apocalypse's power against himself to create like a trap. And they've got it all set up. They're like, all right, ship, we're going to lure him into the spot, kind of like in Fantastic Four when they're like, we got to get Galactus to walk right here. You know what I mean? So that we can stop him. And so next thing you know, Apocalypse shows up and he's like kicking all their asses. And then he steps in the spot. They use the thing against him. And sure enough, it's working, right? And then he's like, you really believed I was not invincible? Ha 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 ha. You know, like, and then he's like, ship, override code, blah, blah, blah. And then the ship immediately like has to bring down the thing. And Beast looks like heartbroken almost. He's like, ship, I thought we had a thing. And she's like, and like the ship's actually like sad, right? She's like, no, like, I didn't know he could do this to me. You know, like I have to go like study the algorithms that did this because I have to figure it out. So ship's like is mentally gone or whatever. She's not there. You know, like she's like turned off for a second. And Apocalypse is kicking the crap out of him. And then just for fun, like Warren's like super pissed. And just to rub the salt in the wounds, Apocalypse turns into the archaeologist on the cane at the beginning of the episode. And it's like, bro, you thought I had weaknesses? I gave you those. I made you believe I had weaknesses. because I'm just that petty. And he's like, and then he says to everybody, like all the X-Men, as he gets all big, he says, I am the rocks of the eternal shore. Crash against me and be broken. And I just laughed so hard when I heard that line, because when I was a kid, that just sounds like some dope shit you hear a bad guy say, but you don't really get the context of it, right?
No.
And I thought, what a wonderful show X-Men 97 is. That they are students of the old show, and they found a way to make that meaningful, right? They gave that line more purpose. And now I understand it in a way I never could before. So I gotta say, honestly, the coolest thing about X-Men 97 is, and it's seamless. Like, it really felt like I was just watching another episode of X-Men 97 while I was watching that. Granted, the animation's not as good, you know what I mean? But like, to give the context of him saying this cheesy supervillain line, and now it has so much more meaning to it, was so powerful. And I think the funniest thing about it is the line right after it too. The second he says, crash against me and be broken, all of a sudden through a hole in the ship, Gambit rides like a flying motorcycle into Apocalypse's face, jumps off of it and says, the name's Gambit, remember it. And I'm like, oh my God, did Bo DeMaio just like study all the old episodes and try to make all the hard ass shit that these characters said be harder? Because like that line, I forgot that's like legitimately a thing he said as he crashed his motorcycle into a giant monster in 1995. And then what's he do like 2 years ago? Crashes a motorcycle into the face of a giant monster and says it. And it meant so much more when he said it this time around.
Well, okay. Like, when season 3 comes out, there will be a conversation.
I know, right?
But
I know, right? I know. Yeah. But I should say, like, the episode ends with like Ship finding a way to override the override, and she's like in pain and she's struggling to, like, she recontains Apocalypse, right? And she's like, you guys got to get off you got to get out of me. You got to leave so I can take him away and be safe. And she's like telling Beast how much she's thanking Beast for making her feel ways she's never felt before. And I swear to God, she like sexy moans for like a second while she says this in the cartoon episode. And then she ends up like taking Apocalypse way out into space, like away from people, so that he can be gone for like the rest of the season and then come back next season or whatever, you know what I mean? And then like Warren flies off with blue balls because he didn't get to kill Apocalypse, and because literally his balls are blue anyway. So, but I just thought it was really cool because when the reason I wanted to see the episode is because I saw Beast's reaction in X-Men 97 when he was touching the walls and seeing the hieroglyphs of themselves, and then suddenly recognizing, oh shit, guys, I think we're in my ex-girlfriend. You know what I mean? Like, he knows this person, like he knows this character intimately. And the last time he saw her, she sacrificed herself to save the X-Men. So she fought her programming, but now we're meeting her at the beginning of her life, and so her job is to fully just, support Apocalypse.
And the crazier thing is, like, Kang is just like a topic in this whole story.
I know, right? Yeah.
And that, I mean, who knows if they pull on that they don't have to pull on that thread anymore for the sake of this show. But you have that vector there, right? And it's like there's layers upon layers of what they're doing. And then even the NTs with Wolverine and Cap and Black Widow. That's
teeing up a famous team up in the old comics as well, like from I think the late 80s or early 90s. Yeah. It's a famous Jim Lee cover that they're about to recreate, probably. Yeah. And what's he receiving? he's receiving his Weapon X, like the documents. So I guess he's going to go back to Weapon X just so that he can get the medal put back in, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's my guess. He really misses it. We know he's going through some shit. I'm happy that he's going to get an episode. That's pretty cool. Like he's been taking the backseat for 1.5 seasons so far. So good for him. But yeah, this show is nuts, dude. And like, and the best part of it all, we have somehow ignored the craziest moment in the episode, right? is that after Magneto stops a black hole from destroying Kang's capital in Egypt and sends it ripping through space, or I don't know where it even goes, and somehow survives that. He survives defeating a black hole. Then Apocalypse rolls up and lifts that guy by the head, puts a gun to his back, and he tells Charles, lie to him, Charles.
Yeah.
Like you've lied to so many. And he's like, make him believe everything's going to be okay. And you're watching that, and I feel like that's not even the first time I've seen that exact kind of scene in pop culture, right? I've seen this scene a million times over. It actually reminds me of Thanos and Loki and Thor.
Charles, right? Say he pulled a Sicario.
Yeah, sure, or Sicario. Yeah. But I thought the most interesting thing about it was when I'm watching the scene, knowing that it's curtains for Magneto, right? Like, I just thought to myself, oh, X-Men, you just can't let Romeo and Juliet be together, can you? Because Charles and Eric, they just want to be together. Why do you always stop them? You send one to space, you make one die. You just constantly keep these star-crossed lovers away from each other, and it hurts my feelings. But yeah, man, he just completely kills Magneto. As far as we know, right? I will say this: it's hard to take death seriously in an episode that's centered around time travel.
Well, ever since he told me about the whole gold ball.
Oh, the Krakoa thing, huh?
Yeah, the golden egg shit.
Yeah.
But
eventually, one day, the X-Men could have the ability to respawn. It's true.
Knowing that, and again, comic books, it's crazy stuff happens.
A lot's changed between when Gambit died and when Magneto died. Right?
But even the knowledge of just like, yeah, he's probably it's more likely than not that Magneto returns somehow versus stays dead.
Yeah.
The weight of that scene and that moment, given the build up prior, man, it just sits with you.
It's gross,
and
right?
then Apocalypse.
Well, then first Professor X.
First, Professor X hits him with the Yo Mama joke.
Oh man, he went hard, right?
Like, he's not like, what's crazy is like he's not in agony. He's not in pain. He's just like, he's defeated.
Yeah.
Like he's just defeated. He talks about Apocalypse's mom, and then Apocalypse doesn't kill him.
Yeah, because he says only a coward would feel powerful while stepping on an ant.
And you can interpret that.
Right by him.
You can interpret that 10 different ways, and it all hits the same.
Yeah, it's powerful. It's really cool. I love the line Professor X has when he's trying to make him. I don't know what he's trying to do. He's trying to just belittle Apocalypse or make him feel small somehow. But he's like, "How wise your mother abandoning you? Do you think she sensed your vile nature? If only Fall had left you to bake, what a better world." And that's what's so cold about that line is they just learned about that earlier in the same episode. Apocalypse confessed that to Charles and Magneto earlier. You know, when they were like when Charles was like when he let him into his mind, he like learned these things about him, and I'm like, damn, you're you are you're a catty. That cat's got claws, man. It's pretty hard. I get it. Like I said, he loves Magneto. What are you gonna do? But yeah, no, there was some hard ass lines in this episode, and I was there for all of it. It's so good, man. It's so good. I cannot handle it. I fully understand that there is a possibility that we peaked today, we peaked this week. You know, like it might not hit that high again, but it was good. I will say this: aside from, you know, the recency of like I still feel the death of Gambit. In fact, Rogue even mentions it in this episode, right? Like she's Rogue is always the dreamer of the X-Men. She always wants to believe, what if we could do this? What if, like I just told you, that episode I watched from 1994 is like, what if we can save Archangel? Like what if he's not that bad of a guy? You know what I mean? Like what if he's just really angry and we can save? Like she's always asking this question to herself, because she wants to just connect with people, and so she's asking, you know, what if we can bring Gambit back, you know? And it's really, it hits, like every character has something of value to say in this episode, even if it's like not much at all. Like I love Nightcrawler. He's like, when Bishop shows up, it's like, what? So you guys just think you can just convince our greatest enemy to just like, you know, be nice? And Nightcrawler's like, well, not all of us actually went along with this plan.
Yeah, I mean, Bishop's kind of
yeah.
the
Bishop's the villain of the episode, bro. Bishop is 100% the villain of the episode, because I think the coolest part about this episode is always villains. They're, you know, the more you can make them relatable or you can understand them, the better they are, right? And I think this job, like this show did a good job. I'm not saying like they made Apocalypse like a guy that I can like get behind, but like I understand what he went through now. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you see what he went through. You see what he ascended to.
What he lost, and then he was betrayed by the people he trusted. You know, like I get it. I'm not saying I'm down with what his cause is, but like I understand where he's coming from. But Bishop, like, how you gonna time travel away to save all the X-Men, and then the second after Apocalypse kills Magneto and leaves, then you come back and you're like, hey, oh dang, did I miss something? How is that even possible? Like you're a time traveler, dude.
He made a business decision.
I think he did. I think he's like, man, I am so tired of trying to convince them that Magneto is wrong. I'm just gonna let them learn the hard way, you know. So it's really funny that Bishop shows up at the end of the episode and it's like, I'm sorry, Charles. And I'm like, yeah, because you could have avoided this easily. This could have been avoided, but it's fine. You know, that is the one trick you always have anytime time travel is involved in a story. So hopefully you can just, like, the characters, their motivations, and their choices are compelling enough to distract you from the time travel of all of it, right? And I think they did a good job. I'm not going to say it hit nearly as hard as Gambit dying like that. No, it did not, right? Like, I mean, I think in a way because like Magneto kind of had it coming, right? Like Magneto messed a lot of stuff up. Like I laughed my ass off earlier in the episode when Apocalypse finally grabs the celestial technology and starts transforming, and Charles is there on the ground, and he's like, because he probably got knocked out of his chair for the millionth time, and he's like, Magnus, we were so wrong. And I'm like, yeah, no shit, bro. Like, how did you not see you were wrong this whole time? Like, but it's funny because it's soap opera. You know what I mean? Like, it's the same reason I like wrestling. It's the same reason like I like comic books. Like, soap opera has to happen. Like, some of these characters, love them or hate them, they're gonna make decisions that just piss you off sometimes. And that was Magneto and pretty much everybody in Egypt land. And in fairness, I did call like a couple of weeks ago, or like last week or whatever. I said, this is really awkward because all the good ones are in the future. Like all the ones of good moral compass are in the future. I mean, I understand Nightcrawler is, but the problem with Nightcrawler is like he can't really compel anybody to see his point of view. You know what I mean? Because they're always a little standoffish of Nightcrawler because he's a little too Jesus-y. He's like that Christian. He's like the Christian that's like, he's that Catholic. Yeah, it's Catholicism is No, I'm not gonna explain it. Never mind. But so yeah, it's funny because it's like this is a broken team of X-Men that is here in Egypt while dealing with Kang and Apocalypse, and they were just outclassed, man. They were outgunned and outclassed.
Well, it's like I think a lot of the better stories in X-Men are when they're dealing with Charles's hubris, right?
Oh, yeah.
By extension, Magneto, and this is it paints a moral gray on like Xavier. Like maybe you're not right 100% of the time either.
Well, because it's exactly what it's doing, right? Because if you think about it, if you look at the two teams, right? How did the other team do? The other team kicked Apocalypse's ass and sent him packing, right? Mm-hmm. He was like, oh crap, cable's been activated. I have no chance of making it through here. I'm time traveling back to the 90s. Peace, I'm out. And he bails, and they basically liberate the 40th century. So what's going to happen when both time traveling groups come back and say, how did you do? You know what I mean?
It's probably pretty stoked. Magneto's dead? Hell yeah!
Yeah, no, but they're going to be like, oh yeah, so we accidentally are the reason that Apocalypse is Apocalypse. You know what I mean? Like Cyclops doesn't need another reason to distrust Professor X. You know what I mean? And now we have it. You know what I mean? So like this is the catalyst for dissension, right? Like because and even Rogue will, I mean not Rogue, I mean Storm. Storm will probably be like, Professor, you did what? Like why did you do that?
We got to see her reaction to figuring out Magneto died.
Rogue or Storm?
Rogue.
Rogue, yeah. Rogue will not be happy about that either. True that. Yeah, so like I just think it's funny that like every time you let Charles and Cyclops go and do things, one of them's going to prove to you who should be in charge. So I think this show is just, it's fantastic, man. I love this show so much. There's always a character that somebody can relate to or get behind and stuff. So I'm so happy, and I appreciate that you let me have the nerd moment to show you how much this show is just a continuation of the original show. You know what I mean? So it's pretty fun.
Great show. I can't wait for our new episode to come out in a few hours.
3 hours.
3 hours.
And we'll talk about it next week. We'll do a special Monday episode of the show.
Monday episode, and then it's time. It's Comic-Con time.
That's right. This is the first time we've been able to do a show on the same week of Comic-Con.
Yeah. We've never done the elusive in-person show for this.
Yeah, well, I mean that's because we're having too much fun. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to figure out a way to make it work, I'm open to it. But you only get 1 hour. That's all you get.
That's fair.
All right.
Well, that'll wrap it up, ladies and gentlemen.